I think the analogy between horror films and what's going on in America now is pretty apt. We are at a low ebb in my country. Crazy people have taken over and are running the country into the ground. I wish they were zombies because then at least you could blow their heads off. But unfortunately, they are real people. It's hard to believe sometimes that they have brains, but they have brought the country to a standstill at the moment, and they may default on the debt ceiling, which would be catastrophe for everybody. And they do it largely because they are pernicious, stupid, uneducated people who are deeply prejudiced against the fact that our president is not white. And I have a lot of issues with the president, and I found him disappointing in a lot of areas. But from the day he was elected, it was a license to be a racist in America again. And all the previous years, the racism had been sort of buried underneath because of political correctness, and people didn't say things because it wasn't right. But as soon as this guy came into office, the watermelon jokes came out, and all of this stuff. And these people just lost their cool. I mean, they're rabid. They're like when you take a caged animal and put it into a corner, and you hit it with a chair. It snarls at you. And the reason that they're so upset is because they realized from the last couple of elections that they're dying out. That the new generation of younger people, the ones who are for same-sex marriage and legalized marijuana, are the future. And these people are the past, and they don't want to go into the past, and they certainly are not going to go gently, and so they are trying to make as much trouble as possible, and they do things like trying to change the parameters of the voting in various states, which is called gerrymandering, so that they have more power to elect more crazy people, so that they can force women to have ultrasounds and all this other crap that they do. And they are just not going to go down without a fight. And it's a very unpleasant situation for people who used to think that they were, pretty good people. The other part of your question was about technology, and I have even done commercials, which I don't enjoy doing, just because I wanted to test a new technology. And the technology is evolving faster than anybody imagined it would happen. I don't think that 5 years ago people would have assumed there would actually be no films projected on film anymore. The projectors, 35mm projectors, are now being taken out of all the theaters because the studios don't want them to be there, because they don't want any more 35. And they're going digital. And almost, I would say, 90% of everything that's photographed in the business is now digital. And I have nothing against digital, but if you have a 35mm print, you can run it here, you can run it in Moscow, you can run it in Africa, you can run it in Canada, you can run it anywhere where there's a 35mm projector. These DCPs, as they're called, digital projector, films, they're very complicated, and not everybody can run them, and it's terrible for preservation. You can't preserve movies on digital. You have to put them back on film. And one of the only reasons that they still make film is because it's an archival medium, and they make certain kinds of film that are purely to keep negatives in the vault, so that people will still own their films. But as far as technology goes, I mean, I'm all in favor of it. I've seen tremendous changes, and I enjoyed doing the 3D movie, and I almost did an IMAX movie once, but it did seem very limiting when I got the huge book they give you, which is as big as the Bible, and it tells you all the things that other directors have found that you can't do with IMAX, and it's a list of don't do that and don't do this, and so it seemed very limiting to me, so I didn't do it. But I'm up for whatever happens next. I think the business is changing incredibly, and that in 10 years from now, I'm not so sure that we would even recognize the movie business that we have now.